Now I'm going to show you how we can select the sales transaction of Amazon and convert it. This data has been shared by one of our clients who actually does sales on Amazon. Okay, let's see. I have already got the data. I showed you earlier how you have to rename the data. Now if you look at the transaction type, I have changed the transaction type so that we have the shipment as sales and the refund as sales return. I've already renamed this. Okay, I've also given the name as per the tally, the options as the names as per the tally. Okay, I've got the party ledger now, which is going to be debited. The total amount to be debited is given in the total amount here. Okay, and then I have the B2C sales, which is the sales account, and I have the CGST credit. Now, if I would like to rename this as CGST output, I can also make it, depending on how I have got the name, I can do it. The transaction will be created in this particular way. Now I'm going to come to, it's very important that you select the right option. Now let's come to E2 Tallysoft and I select the sales returns. Select the sales return option here. Okay, otherwise if you take the normal option, it will be converted as to the normal option. Now I've given this yes number, you can give yes number or you can give whatever is required as apt for you. Product description, I'm taking the voucher type, which is the transaction type. I'll select the party name, which is the party ledger debit. Now this completes the debit part. It says I selected the debit and credit amount will be computed automatically. I say next. Now here I have to select the sales. Now if you see, when you take the sales part, B2C sales credit. Now here next I select the IGST. I got the IGST credit. Next I have the CGST credit. Next I have the SGST credit. This is all I have. Now let's convert this and see what happened. I've got the conversion data. I can also review the statistics to know whether the transactions have correctly and completely computed or converted. Now I go to preview vouchers. Now this does the conversion. Now this is the format in which the data is available, has to be available for the purpose of importing to Tally. Now let's look at the voucher number 41 and see whether the transaction has been correctly taken in the case of the sales return. Now if you see here, in the case of the sales return, voucher number 41, just go up. Now if you see here, for the sales return, Amazon has been credited and B2C sales has been debited and the CGST, SGST has been debited. Okay, which means this transaction has been done correctly. This is how, based on the transactions you selected, this voucher is correctly converted as sales or sale purchases, sales returns. Okay, if you see here, this is what has happened. This is the data which is ready to be imported inside Tally, and there may be 100 transactions or 5,000 transactions. You can import this in no time. Now just imagine this transaction is being manually entered in Tally. Instead of this, now I can just do the conversion in about 3 to 4 minutes. I can complete all the transactions, push this into Tally in no time. And this is the advantage of using a software of E2 Tallysoft for automation. This completes our demo of conversion of sales and sales returns of Amazon sales. Now let's go to the next. Now I'm going to show you a demo of conversion of service and JVs using the additional ledger option. Now here what we do is, I come to the format, I come to the JVs here. If you look at the JVs here, in the JVs, I got the sales and JVs with additional ledger. I pick up this. I already have the sample data here. Okay, now if you see here, the same sales data which I had earlier, I'm going to convert this. Now there is an additional ledger option which I'm going to use. Using the JV option, I'm going to convert this. Okay. Now in JV, if you see the difference, let me show you the quick demo and let's see how it can be converted. Now I'm going to use the services JV. Now there is, the important thing to remember here is, there is, let's come to this option. Before that, let me close this. Okay. Yeah, let's come to this option. Okay, so I have the voucher number, which is the S number. Next, I have to select the voucher type. Now I don't have the voucher type here, so I can give the voucher type here. Now let's say I call it as GST sales. Okay, narration, I can give the narration. Select the narration. Now here you have to be very clear about what is to be debited and what is to be credited. This pertaining to sales. Now based on the transaction, it has taken buyer name automatically and taken the invoice value, which is absolutely correct. Okay, which means I'm going to debit the buyer for the full invoice value. Okay, now let's come to the next aspect. Now if you see the next aspect, what should happen is I'm going to select the GST sales amount, which is the ledger name, and I'm going to select the taxable amount, which is the value. In addition to this, I have IGST, and that's where we added this new feature called additional ledger. You click on the additional ledger. Now here it gives me an option to go and add the additional ledger. I say column with ledger name. Here I have to select the IGST ledger. Now here I select the IGST amount. Okay, this is done. Now if there was any other ledger, let's say in this case, IGST is already selected. We don't require the IGST here. Okay, now I can select other ledgers, for example, transport charges, anything, etc. Whatever is there, I can do it. CGST, SGST. I'm going to show one more example where I have the transport charges, etc. So I got this data and I say okay. And now I say convert. Now this should convert the data. Now if you see here, Ramco Cement is debited with 1,63,000 and the sales of cement is credited. Similarly, IGST is credited. Okay, now say preview vouchers. I can look at statistics before the preview. Now this gives me the statistics. Now let me take a preview. I got a preview. Now this is only one type of transactions. Okay, these are all sales. So you find in all the cases, the party is debited. Okay, so if you want, I can save this. And this is the data which is now ready to import. I got this transaction. I can import this transaction. As long as the ledger name is available, I can import this directly. Okay. So if you want to check the sales, I can also check whether the data is correct. So what I could do is, for example, let's say I got the sales. If I want to do some validation, see whether the conversion has happened correctly, I can go here and say, let's say I go and select the sales account. Now here I got different types of sales. I'll put all of them together. I take the sales account and look at the total value. It is 40,53,000. Now 4 crores, 5,31,825. Okay, now if I come to the actual vouchers and if I look at the transactions pertaining to sale taxable amount, you find the value is same, 4 crore 5,31,825.26. It has been correctly computed. Similarly, if I look at the IGST amount, the total IGST amount is 484.41. Now if you come here and look at the statistics, you got this 484.41, 487. So this is what you will be able to get. Now this is how you can actually validate the data also before importing. Now let's say I just come here and say I want to validate the IGST amount. I can also do it specifically for each of the amounts. I'll just do for both of them. IGST amount, what is the total amount? I'm getting 79,10,062. Now let me come back and check whether this data is correct. So here, if you look at the total value, this is the invoice value. Now let's come to the IGST amount. Now if you see, this is 79,10,062, which means it has correctly and completely computed. I can also validate separately for 28% and 18%. Okay, this is how you can convert sales with additional ledger. Now let's go to the next demo. Here I'm going to convert using the service and JV options, sales JV with additional ledgers with the discount and the expenses recovered. Okay, so let me pick up the sample data from this section. Sales with discount and additional ledgers. Now, if you see here, in this case, I got the parties. Okay, the name of the parties. These are all sales to the bank and the services which are provided. And I have got this additionally discount, transport charges, and packing charges. Okay, now I can do this in two ways, using the journal option or using the sales option. I'm going to use the sales option for this. Okay, we made it much more flexible. Now here I've already converted. I'm just going to show you the data. This is the original data. Okay, this is a copy of the data which is created before conversion. This is the sales voucher which has been converted. Now if you see here the transaction, The bank HDFC Chennai is debited. Discount, transport charges, packing charges, all these are debited. The credit amount is pertaining to GST sales, output CGST, and output SGST. Okay. In case there's a difference, for example, while creating the voucher, add some transactions. If there is a difference, when you do the validation, the amount will be found out, and you'll get wherever there's a difference, you'll find where there is a difference. Okay, and you will also get the statistics. You can also make this voucher. For example, you want to implement the option of making the voucher optional. You can select this option where this voucher will be made optional, which means when you import, it will not go directly and sit as a sales voucher. It will sit as an optional voucher. Somebody has to review and authorize that. They can review and authorize, make the sales as a normal sales. Now let me come back to the transaction and let's see how we can convert. So this we're going to convert using the JV option. I come to eTallysoft. As I said, I can also do it using the sales option. Let's see whether we'll do it both the ways. Let's do it this way. I'm going to take the sales. Here, this is only pertaining to sales. Now voucher number, this voucher number is given as the trans ID here. Now this asset has to be unique. There's no narration here. Voucher type is already voucher type is selected. I have to give the debit to the party. Here I've already got the debit name, and I know debit will be computed automatically. Okay. Now how it will be computed automatically? Let us see. Now here I have to select the sales. Now here I'm going to select the sales account, which is in this case the GST sales. Next I come back and select the IGST. And next I have to select the CGST. I give C, it should be able to give me this information. Okay, there's the output, that's why it's not coming. Now here, if you see here, once again, I give it as O. Now this I have to select the SGST. This is selected. Now we also have discount here. If you see here, I got discount and transport and parking charges. So discount allowed, I'm going to directly take it from here. Discount has come. Okay, next I go to additional edges. I click on the additional edges. Now this gives me an option where I have to go and select now which are the two accounts to be selected now. I have to select the transport charges, and I can say whether it's a debit or a credit. I got this transport charges. I know this is a debit amount. I can mark that as a debit, and automatically the transaction will be converted in that way. I got the packing charges. I can go and select from here the packing charges, and that's also debit. Now with this, now we have converted everything. So if there are any other accounts also, I can take the accounts here. Okay, in this case, you see the main difference between converting a JV and a sales is in the case of a JV, I have to ensure the debit and credit is correct. Whereas in the case of a sales, automatically the amount is converted. Now let's convert this and see what will happen. Let's look at the statistics. It's transactions from 1st June to 5th June. It gives me the total number of transactions here. Let's say preview the vouchers and see how the transactions come. Now if you see, the transactions have been correctly computed. So I've got this debit pertaining to the bank for the HDFC for the service rendered. You got the discount, transport charges, packing charges, and similarly you got the credit. And this gives you the complete list of all the transactions which happened with this particular option. As that, I can also do this using the JV option. Okay, in case if I do the JV option, let's see how it looks. I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to use the services of JV option. Now in this case, when I'm giving the service of JV option, I select the voucher number, which is the trans ID. I've got the voucher type. I don't have any narration here. Now I should be very clear about what is to be debited, what is to be credited. Okay, and there are additional edges here. Now there are additional edges in debit and there are additional edges in credit. So first I'm going to debit the party name. Now for the debit party name, I have to compute the total, and that total has been already computed here. This is the debit due. This has to tally exactly with the transaction. Otherwise, there will be a debit credit difference. Now I have additional edges here. What are the additional debits which are going to be there? Now in this case, here I have to select the debit, which is the discount, and then I have to select the transport charges, which is also a debit, and I have the packing charges, which is also a debit. Okay, I say okay. I've got this transaction. Now I have come to the credit. Let's see what are the credits I'm going to select. Now here, credit is for the GST sales, and I need to pick the amount, which is the amount I'm going to pick for GST sales. GST sales actually is available not in this way. It is already available as a multiple. So I'm going to select this multiple. So in this case, I'm just going to select, because all these are available here. This is a very simple way of correction, because I got in the column GST sales, output, and output debit. This is what I've got. Sorry about that. That's the alarm ringing. Okay. Now I say convert data. See, now the data has been converted. There is some issue here. I've got 15,250, and this amount has not tallied because I've not done the selection correctly. So this is why it's very important that you select the transactions correctly. When you do the preview, when you do the preview also, you'll not get the transaction correct. So what has happened is 1125, 2005, 15,000 is correct. The debit transport charges, other things have not come because they have not been selected. I think that they have not been selected correctly because I chose wrongly. Now let's see what is the mistake I made. Now you should be able to show me what is the mistake. Now if you see here, the packing charges, everything were coming under that particular column. I should have selected that option. I chose the wrong option. Yeah, okay. I've got the voucher number. I got the trans ID, voucher type. There is no narration here. Okay, now I got the debit name, credit name. Now what I do is I use the option multiple here, and here I'm going to take the debit party name, and I've got the amount here, which is the amount which is to be debited to the party, which is the debit new. Okay, and then here, if you see, the other debits will come in where I got the discount, because under the discount I have this row. So this is how I have to select. Okay, packing charges, this is what I got. These are 3 debits. Now I come to the credits. In the credits, I'm directly selecting everything and coming under multiple here. So in this case, what I'm going to select is, because this is everything is coming under the column name. Okay, GST sales, output GST. So this is where, in case you get an error, you should validate and verify whether the selection is correct. Based on that, you should check the result. Now let's convert this. Now see, we got perfectly, very good. So we got the HDFC Bank, discount, transport charges, packing charges. So once you do 2-3 iterations, you'll get a clear idea of how the transaction has to be converted. There is a very simple logic and rule we followed. Just get the logic right. You can convert any type of data. So I can preview and save the voucher. Now this is how we can convert. Now if you see, we got all the sales transactions. This is the voucher type. So now this is the old one. Let me just come back to where we sales voucher. This is the new one. So you see services voucher 1, which is this what I created now. Now this is what I got. Similarly, I'll have the statistics. That will be the statistics which I got now. This will be created as statistics 2. This is the latest statistics which have been created. Okay, this is the service with sales. This I showed you with the options. Okay, now let's come back to the next demo. We have seen the conversion of services or JVs with discount and expenses. Now let's go to the next one, where I'm converting directly conversion of 2A data to purchases, which means I got the sales data, purchases data, which is already available in 2A. So I directly download the 2A data, and from the 2A data, I should be able to convert it as a sales voucher. Now here, if you see, I got the list of all the transactions here. Okay, now it has got so many columns, so it's very important that you select the columns which are relevant for you. In this case, if you see, I've highlighted the yellow color. I got the transaction ID, invoice date, invoice number, supplier trade name. Okay, all these additional details, if you want, I can take. I have the item taxable value. I'm not interested in the IGST rate. I have the IGST amount, CGST amount, CGST amount, and there is a cess also here. I'm going to take that also. And we also got a total transaction value. Now, can you tell me which option will I use for conversion of this data? I can actually use the sales with additional ledgers, or I can also use the JV, because in this case, I have got the debit and the credit, both is available, then I can convert. Now here, if you see, I got the total amount of the invoice also available here. So using this, I can also use the JV option. I'm going to show it to you using the sales option. Now I come to the sales. Now the section of the field is very important. I just give a name. or I can connect to Tally and directly pick the name here. This will be used for the purpose of saving the ledger. Okay, I got the invoice date, invoice number, select this. This is very important. You select the invoice number. Instead of this, what I would like to do is I would like to use the trans ID as the voucher number. And then I have the voucher type, which is the invoice type. I need to select the invoice number here, the party name. Now this is the supplier trade name. Next, I can also, if I want to make this voucher optional, I click on this optional, it becomes optional, which means it will be marked as optional. So when you import also, it will be saved as an optional voucher, and somebody can authorize as per the company's policy and convert it as a regular sales voucher. Now I have completed the debit part here. Amount will be computed automatically. Now let's go and pick up the credit part. Now this should be very simple. Now in all these cases, the amount, the header, the ledger name is available in the header. So I'm going to go here and pick up the GST amount. This is the item taxable value. Now there will be a problem here. If I take this item taxable value, the transaction will also come ledger name as the item taxable value. So what I could do in this case is I'll close this, come back here to the item taxable value, and I'm going to take this as GST purchases. I'm going to rename this ledger as GST purchases. Okay. Similarly, I got this IGST amount. I can give it as IGST, or I can call it as input IGST. Instead of this, I can call it as input IGST. Similarly, I got the CGST amount. Now this, what I say, is the name I have given in Tally. Okay. So let's say I'm going to give this as input IGST. That's the name which is available in Tally. Give the column name in the same way so that you can import it directly in this way. I got this here. Input CGST. Okay, now if you have a space also, it will create problems when creating Tally. So it's very important that you create the ledger account exactly as per what is there in Tally. Here I got the SGST amount. I'm going to take this as the input SGST and delete the amount here. I got the cess rate. This I'll call it an input cess. Okay, this is done. Okay, now I have rearranged the names. I'm going to just save it, and then I'll come back again to the sales returns. Now here I picked up the name. I can connect to Tally and take the name. Invoice date, invoice number. I don't want invoice number here. I'm going to select the invoice number separately. Here I want the transaction ID. Okay. Now I have got the invoice type. I'm going to select the party name here, which is the supplier trade name. Okay, that's the way I have created that in Tally. Now this, which means I completed the credit part here. Now in this case, I selected the sales, which is wrong. I should have selected the purchases. This is also important. I go to purchases. Otherwise, the transaction would have been reversed. The logic of sales would have been applied here. Okay. Now, to ensure that you don't have these type of errors, I'll also show you one more technique which you can use. This is the supplier trade name. Okay. Now, if you see here something called save configuration. Now, if I'm going to use the same standard format for all the times, I can just use the save configuration. This format will be changed. So next time when you open this type of worksheet, automatically the options of selection here will be directly done. So you don't need to go and do the selection again and again. So here I'm going to select the debits. Here it's going to be the GST. Where is my GST? Did I give it as GST purchases? Let's look at this. Here I got the GST purchases. Okay, now here I wanted to give the input. I give input. I get the input IGST. I just type here I, and it tells me CGST. It's very important that I should mark this header ledger name. Here I am going to select the input for CGST. And then I have the cess also here. So I'm going to select the input cess. With this, our selection is over. Now I'm going to go for the additional details. In the additional details, I want to enter the invoice number here. Now I want to enter the GSTN, which is supplier GSTN. Okay. Now I have got the invoice number, which I want to give it here. The invoice number and the invoice date. I got the invoice number. I also want to enter the invoice date here. So I can go that and give that as the value date. Yeah, so I've selected these parameters. I want to give the GST registration type. I can also give that. I give place all these parameters are there which can be entered. Now I say I can save this configuration. Next time you don't need to go and select, automatically that will be saved. And when you open a similar type of worksheet, automatically it'll capture the details and show you. I say convert data. Let's see whether how the conversion happens, whether it happens correctly. Now if you see here, come to statistics to check the details. Let's preview the vouchers. Now if you preview the vouchers, you'll see this purchases, the party has been created and GST purchase is debited, input CGST, SGST. Now here I made a mistake. What is the mistake? I selected input CGST twice. That's why I got input CGST. I should have selected input SGST. What do? One option is I can preview the voucher, save it, and then I just replace. That could be one option. I can say save. Or second option is I can go and convert this again. Okay, so I don't want to save this file. Instead of this, what I'm going to do is, because input CGST, I have to take input SGST correctly, so it has not been done correctly. Let me do this again. Let's do this very quickly now. I want to purchase this. Now, the problem here is the result will not be correct here because I'm in the wrong worksheet. So it's very important that you should be, the worksheet you want to convert is the active worksheet. Otherwise, it will not be able to show the result. I come to purchases. Now here in purchase, I give the name of the company. In purchase also, I can select the purchase returns option also. This is why I said you have to be very careful in selecting the options. So when I give supplier, it gives me the yes, all the accounts starting with yes. I got the invoice type this correct. When I go to next, now here, this is where we hit some mistake. I go to GST purchases, this is done. Then I got IGST. I select input, IGST. Okay, last time I made a mistake here. I select CGST, correct. This is where we made a mistake. I have to select input SGST. And here I got input SES. Okay, this is done. Selection is done. Now I say, let's say save the configuration. Configuration has been saved. So let me show you this also. I say convert data. Now if you come to statistics, it gives me the statistics. Now let's look at preview of the vouchers. Now if you see here, I got this correctly, CGST, SGST, it says everything's come correctly. I'll say save. Now this transaction has been saved. Now it says, do you want to open the file? Yes, it has been imported. Now if you see here, purchase, I got the total amount. The voucher number is also because I selected the voucher number. Based on the voucher number, this voucher number has come. Okay. Now I just wanted to come back again to this and show you what happens when I've selected the configuration. Now if you see here, when I come back to purchase returns, let's see where the configuration has been saved. Now I come back to company name. This is where the configuration has been saved. Now when I select A, see automatically the data is populated here. Whatever you selected is automatically populated. See, this is the beauty of the software. You don't need to go and do the selection again and again. Automatically, this will be saved. So you can just go and do the correction. So if you're done for 1 month, next time you want to do, just save it to the particular name and you don't need to go and select the options again and again. Automatically that will be saved. So this is how you can convert the 2-year data directly into purchases. Now we look at the conversion of services JVs with debit and credit in a single row. Sometimes you get this particular data where you have got the debit and credit in a single row. Let me pick up this data, debit, credit in a single row. Now if you see here, in this case, I got the debit and credit in a single row. This actually is the data which is from extract of ledgers from Zoho. Okay, so these are all pertaining to the petty cash expenses. I got this particular transactions. In fact, I can convert it 2 ways. I'm just going to show you in 1 way. Now this is where I got the debit and credit in a 2 way, in 1 particular row. Okay, if you see here, now this is the data I have got. This is a copy of the data. Okay, now this gives me the Now this is a conversion. So you see petty cash, petrol expense and credit petty cash. Now there could also be receipts. Now if you see the receipt, in the case of receipt, petty cash is debited and the undeposited fund is credited. Now this is automatically, the logic has been built into the software. So it will convert it based on what is the data which is available. Now I can convert, as I said, in two ways. I can use the bank and cash option. Earlier this was called as the bank statement. Now we have modified this as bank or cash. The reason is, now if you see here, not only this type of transactions, any transaction where there's only one type of a ledger and I got a corresponding ledger, directly I can pick it from here. Let me show you the bank statement option and select this. Here, what I do is I can enter this as petty cash, which means that the account is going to be debited. Okay, and then I select the column heading here. Now when I select the column heading first, it automatically goes and selects to the last column. Okay, now it got the date, reference number, narration. Now here I don't want to give any reference number narration. It has got the value date. This also I don't want any value date. Okay, it has given the narration, which means the reference number narration. Now it has got the credit and the debit. It has got two columns. Okay, voucher number, everything has been done. Let's convert and see what happens. Now it's got the transaction. Let's see the preview. Now there is a mistake. What is the mistake here? Now if you see here, I didn't select the corresponding column, so only one part of the transaction has been taken. So come back again here. You want to close? Yes. Now let's come back here again. I'm using the bank or cash. So I give the name as petty cash. Now can you identify what is the mistake I made last time? Omission. I go and select this transaction ID. Based on that, this is selected. Now I have to select the corresponding ledger, which is the corresponding column, which is the transaction details ledger name. Yeah, this is what I missed. So petty cash will be debited and the corresponding ledger names as given in the column transaction debit details ledger name will be credited. So depending on the type of the transaction, as a debit or credit, automatically the transaction will be converted. So value date, I don't want the value date. Okay, I've got this option. Then I say convert. It also computes the voucher number and the transaction type. Let's say I don't want the transaction type. Okay, I come to preview vouchers. Now you see, lo and behold, you got the data correctly. Now you got the data wrongly. It got petty cash debit petrol expenses credit because the debit and credit selection is wrong. So what do? I come back here and then I have to select the debit and credit correctly. So this way you have to sometimes go through iteration to check whether the data has been correctly selected. Now to overcome this, that's why we added this new option where I said you can do this type of conversion using directly the option what we have told you. I'll show you that also. Here I am going to select the transaction details ledger name. I got the date. Here I'm not going to take the instrument number. Date. I don't need any value date here. Narration has been taken. Now here what has happened, this is taken as debit. So deposit amount, here I have to take this as the debit. Okay, and this I have to show it as the credit. Okay, anything else here? Now let's convert this and check what will happen. Now if you come to preview vouchers, okay, your petrol expense debited and petty cash credited. And this is how you can convert this type of a data. Now let me show you the other way where I can do it through the single debit or credit. This is done through a JV. So I go to the JV option, service or JV. Now here I give the name of the company, date, voucher number, I give it to the trans ID. Voucher type, I give the voucher type. Narration, I don't have any narration. Now I can select the narration here. Okay, now here if you see, I got the account name and which is the petty cash, and I got the amount. Which is the amount? I've got the debit amount. Okay, here I've got the transaction debit name, here I got the credit. Okay, then I say convert data. Now the software is built in such a way that automatically it will compute the information. Let's preview and see whether we got the results correctly. Now we have not got the correct result. You know what is the reason we didn't get the correct result? Because we use a general JV option. Okay, so for doing this, what we should do, we have actually designed a separate function for this, and that's what you should have used. I'm going to come back again to service or JVs. I'm just showing the common mistakes which happen when you use this option. Now here I have to select the debit and credit in a single row. This is the option you have to select. So I select the name of the company. Let me come back to my Excel sheet. This is my Excel sheet. Now when I'm doing the Zoom presentation, sometimes this happens. You have to bear with me. Okay, I select the, now I selected the journal option. Now you see it looks like the same bank type of selection. I've done the selection. Okay, so I've used this option. Now I've got the debit and credit. Now what is the next thing I have to select? I got the debit. I give the voucher ID as the transaction ID. Okay, I got the voucher type. I give the voucher type. And now I got the narration is automatically taken. Here I select the ledger name, which is the account name. And here I have the debit. And here I take the ledger name, which is the transaction details ledger name. And this I give the credit. Okay, now let's convert and see what will happen here. Now you see here, petrol expense to petty cash, and we got all these transactions. Similarly, if you say in the case of a receipt, petty cash is debited and undeposited fund is credited. And this is how the transactions can be converted. You can save this and then you are ready to import it. Okay, now let's go to the next option. This is demo of conversion of bank statements. This is a very interesting thing, and this is one of the most popular statements which is used by our clients. Now, if I come back to bank statement, this is bank statement converted. I'm going to show you first the results of the conversion. Now, this is the bank statement which I got. This is the data which I got. This is the data which is shared by one of our clients. I'll just sanitize the data. I'll remove the filter. Now, this is the transaction which is available. Now, if you see here, you have this is the original data which is available. Okay. Now, this data can be imported, but we also need to know which is the column name, which is the corresponding ledger name which has to be there. And that has been added here. If you look at the output in the remarks column, he has added the corresponding ledger name. Okay. Based on the transaction, the corresponding ledger name is added. And now I have got the bank statement, which is ready to import. This is a copy of the bank statement. Okay, now this is a transaction which has been computed, and earlier we had this option where if there is no value, it would take 0, but now we've changed that. Now it also does a validation. If when I'm importing this, I'm just showing you when you do the validation, it'll check whether all the mandate data is available and tell you all the records are valid. I can also convert this, for example, based on the bank statement which is available now here, I can insert a pivot table, and then based on that, I can extract the ledgers, and ledgers I can add the parent and directly import the create the ledgers using this import to tally, which is the option, import to tally masters option. Okay, so this is what we have done here. I created the ledger name, added the parent, and once I've added all the parents, if I got a blank, then the parent is missing, tally will give a validation error, or software will also give a validation error. This is what I'm showing you. When you give the validation, we also give you the list of ledgers which are available in tally so that you can verify. We also give you the voucher type which are available in tally. If the voucher type is not available, we also give the voucher numbers which is available, and we give the statistics. Okay, this is the validation when you import. Okay, now I'm going to convert this bank statement. Okay, I got this bank statement is already converted. I'm going to take this statement and I'm going to do the conversion using the bank statement option. Now, if you see here, I'm just going to give the bank name. In this case, let's say this is HDFC Bank. I give the name of the bank. I select the column heading, which is the first cell. That's enough. Automatically read the end and give me what is the last transaction. Now I select the corresponding column, which is the remarks, which is available in the remarks. This is very, very important. Your selection is very important. I've done the remarks. I got the date, instrument number. I don't want to give any instrument number. Value date also, I don't want to give any value date. So in that case, use the option select. Okay. Narration. In the narration, I've already got the narration. The description is given the narration. I got the debit and the credit. Automatically, it also creates the transaction type. I'll show you this. What is this interesting feature? I can save the configuration. So next time, as I said, you don't need to select the column. Automatically, it save and select the column when you open a similar worksheet with similar columns. Now, if you see here, I got this transactions. Now, I can also do the validation here. So if you see here, when I say validate, it will validate. This validation will be for the debit and the credits are correct. If there any debit credit doesn't tally, it will give me. Plus, I can also do a validation to tally. I save this voucher. All these vouchers which have been converted, I'm just saving it. Now you see from Excel worksheet which was available, which I've downloaded from HDFC. Okay, I've got this. Do you want to open the file? I say yes. Now, if you see, all the transactions have been converted and we are ready to import. Now, it also got the value date and the instrument number. Now, if you see here, this is another interesting part which I want to show you. We have built in the intelligence in the software, so it's also able to directly pick up based on the transaction, whether it's a contra transaction, cash or a check, and it's a NEFT or RTGS, that also will be added based on the transaction type. Now, if you see there is a cash, the other corresponding transaction is cash, or there's a cash in the narration, this will be marked enter as a contra entry. Okay, one of the issues which bank statement import has is you are imported, let's say you got two bank accounts and you've done a transaction from one bank account to another bank account. Now it will come as a contra in one bank, and when you import from other bank, the same transaction will be repeated. In that case, you have to ensure that that transaction, duplicate transaction, is deleted. Okay, which means you got cash. Similarly, if you got cash and you're reporting cash also, the transaction, if in case of contra, that will be duplicate. You have to ensure that it imported only once. So what you could do is you can import it and then delete that duplicate transaction. Now let's come back to the presentation. I've got other 4 things to demo, 4 to 5. Okay, demo conversion of bank statement. This for single statement. Now, is it possible that I can convert multiple statements? Let's say I got the statement, bank statement, which is available in multiple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the bank statement. I already got the bank statement format. Okay, I can go to the bank statement format. Okay, here I've got the bank cash and I got the bank statement multiple sample data. Now here, if you see, this is a bank statement, this for the month of April, and this for the month of May, and this for the month of June. The column name has to be similar, and I've also added the corresponding ledger. Can I import all of them in one shot? Okay, this is the interesting question we have. Let's see how best we can do this. Now you find it's very, very simple. The same option except one small change. I go to this bank or cash. Here I have to select multiple. When you say multiple, it will ask me what are the bank statements you want to import. Where is the bank worksheet, where the bank statement is available. I selected this. I say okay. But selection, I need to do only once. Let's say this is ICICI Bank. I give the column heading. Column heading also I select only for the first one. Automatically it'll do the selection for the others. Okay, now corresponding ledger. Now it's important that all the worksheet should have the details in the same way. Which means in the same location, the column should be there with the same name. Okay, I've already got the transaction date, instrument number, value date. Now I don't want the value date. Or it, okay. Yeah, I've got the narration, transaction description. It's already selected everything. I say convert the data. Now you see when I convert, this is from 1/4 to 30th June, which means all the 3 months have been taken. I didn't select value date, that's why it's coming as blank, as 110. Right? Do the preview of the vouchers. Now if you see here, I got 1/4/21, and now if you go to the end, it will be up to 30th June 2021, which means all the 3 months have been converted. Which means if there are 12 months or whatever the number of period, I can convert everything in one go. I can save this and then we are ready to import into Tally, provided the ledgers are available. Now coming to demo of conversion of receipts. Now here, I already got the receipts, some sample data pertaining to the receipts. Now this is a receipt from my actual client who is a doctor and who does consulting, and based on that he's collecting various types of fees. Now this data is very interesting. Now if you see all these transactions, there are about 1,800 transactions. Yeah, now here you got 980. Let's come to the original. This is the original data which we had. This is another interesting feature I want to show. There are 1,830 transactions, and this doctor also does some of honorary services, which means in this case it doesn't collect any money, and that will be blank. Okay, now when accounting, I want to account only the transactions which got value. And here the head of accounts as per which he collects the money, and most of the amount is collected in cash. Okay, this is what has been converted here. It says there are about 800 plus transactions, there are no value, so those are not taken, and the transactions with value only are selected. This gives you the complete conversion. Let me show you the conversion, show how it happens. I come to the receipt to convert. Now I'm going to use the option called receipt of payment. Now you can do receipts. Now if you see the three options available here, you can do the receipt, you can do the payment, you can give the name of the company. Let's say Dr. Anthony. Now this is only receipt. Here I got only receipt. I select the date column is already selected. I give the voucher number, which is the serial number. Okay, I got the transaction date, which is taken. Narration, I don't have any narration. Cash, now this is very, very important. Here I got only cash. I'm going to select where the name of the party is coming. So the column with the cash or bank is the cash in hand bank column. Party ledger name is the name of the party. Okay. Now I've got the amount. Amount could be in single because there's only one transaction. So amount is available only in one place. Okay, let's convert and see what happens. Now all these 1,830 transactions are converted in one go. Now this was assigned by a CA to his article clerk, and they just contacted us and we showed him how this could be done. And this conversion was all done and import and tally in 10 minutes, all the job was done. Whereas manually, you just imagine it's a 1,830 transaction had to be done, removing all the negative, all the balance with nil, about 1,000 transactions. Just imagine even if it takes 1 minute per transactions, it would have taken about 15 to 16 hours. Whereas here we are able to do it in less than 10 minutes. The only thing is we have to get the data right. We have to just ensure the columns are selected. Now, if you see here, cash is debited, operation theater is collected. Now, once I got this particular data, I can save this and I'm ready to import it. I have to just create the ledger names in this and I can import the ledgers. I've already got this data. Now, see here at 1,830, but here if you see, the transactions created only where there's a value, which means transactions with no value are ignored. Now, you see here, this is how we are able to convert this. This is for the receipts and payments. Now let's look at the next demo, which is pertaining to receipts and payment, which means I got the receipts and payment in one sheet. Now what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to pick the sample data from the software. I got E2Tallysoft. Most of the cases, we got the format here. I got the format, I got the receipt and payment. Now I got receipt and payment, receipt and payment. I'm just going to select the receipt and payment option. I say, okay. Now it opens the sample data. Now, if you see here, I got the receipts and payments. Now, this is very interesting, but you have to be very careful in selection. I got the receipts and payments, and I got the cash of the bank. Now, let's see how to convert this. I go to E2Tallysoft. I select the option of receipt or payment. The secret of using the software is to ensure that you select the right columns with the right heading, get the data right. Okay, in this case, company name. Here I'm giving the receipt and the payment, both are available. So in all these cases, you see, you also have this optional voucher. Voucher type is taken. I've got the date column is taken. Voucher number. I selected a serial number. Narration. I select the narration. Okay. Next, I have the bank and the cash. Both are available. Column with the cash or bank. What is the name here? So this is the cash or bank name, and party ledger name is coming in the name of the party. Now here I need to give whether it's a single or double multiple. Here I got multiple. So it means I select the receipt column as the receipt and the payment amount under the payment. So this is what is most important. Select the right column and then convert. Now this will create dynamically all the transactions. See here, cash and to Apsara Trophy Makers. This is the receipt from this party. Now, if the payment, you have the debit to the party and credit to the bank. Okay, like that, it has created all the transactions. I can view the statistics and see there are 1,31,00,000 like that type of transactions, 152 transactions. All this can be saved and you are ready to import. Now, let's go to the next one. This is about import from Tally. This now we have completed the conversion. There's one more feature called map vouchers. Maybe I'll cover it in a future presentation. There are about standard formats which you can convert. Now here we're coming to demo of import from Tally. We are going to just pick up the day book and the trial balance. Now this is a very simple feature. Now let's say I take a blank workbook. Now I have got E2Tallysoft. Now I want to import the day book. Now if you see here, I got this day book. I just go to ebook, all the transactions which are there in this company which is open. I say I want to import these transactions. Okay, yeah, now I got this. It tells me the transactions from 1/4/2000 to 20 July 2020, and this is what I got. I say okay. This is what I said is one of the key features of eDO TallySoft, where you can export the transactions from the daybook, from Tally to Excel in a structured format. Now you see here, this is what I call as a structured format. When you say structured format, the date will be in a date format. Okay, the ledger name, everything will be or this one formatted. So you can select, for example, I want to do an auto filter and pick up all transactions pertaining to payment. I can pick up all the transactions pertaining to payment. Okay, I can get the for each of the voucher types I can get, for each of the voucher numbers I can get. Now, once I got this data, I can play around with this data in the way I want. For example, let's say I want all the purchase transactions. Now I just say here and I say I want to pick up only purchases. I can do analysis in the way I want. I want purchases here. Now in this case, I just want to sort it in ascending or descending order. Now you see here, I can sort this in purchase. Now here I want to pick up only purchases. I can just say I want only purchases. Now which means I can pick up all the purchase transactions in one go here, and I also know which are the parties for whom I have purchased. Okay, I can also use a pivot table and do so many things once I got the data in a structured fashion. Now, can I get the data of the trial balance? Now I got the transaction. Now another interesting part is what is called the ledger vouchers. Now in the ledger voucher, the beauty is not only the transactions, you also get with the corresponding ledger name. Now in this case, it extracts the data ledger by ledger for each of the transactions. Along with the transaction details, it also gives you the corresponding ledger name. For example, if you say rent, along with the rent, it also tells you how the rent was paid. If you say CGST, to whom does the CGST belong? It also gives you the corresponding ledger name. Okay, this is the importance of the ledger vouchers. Now here, if you see, these are all import from Tally. I can also take the transactions. I have the cash transaction, bank transaction directly. I can do that. Okay, I got this. Let me come to my Excel sheet. Okay. Right, I got this Excel sheet. Okay, there's a little circus I have to do for Zoom. Yeah, I got this data. So here, if you see, I can also go and extract ledgers of a particular type based on a particular parent, which means I want, let's say, only direct expenses. I can just go and select the expenses pertaining to all direct expenses or indirect expenses. I'll get all the ledgers, I can extract them. Not only that, I say I want it in a separate workbook. All these things you can do. Separate worksheet, I can get all this in a separate worksheet. I want to extract all the expense ledgers, I can do that. I can also get month-wise details. I can convert to XML, or I can also get monthly reports. You can watch future presentations for more details on this. Let's show you the trial balance. I want to see the ledger with groups. Now I didn't select the options here. Now it gives me so many options. I select without the percentages. I say okay. Now in the active sheet, now you see the ledger has been, the trial balance has been created. Now can we import from Tally the registers from sales, purchase, and journal vouchers? Yes, we can do that. How do you do it? Very simple. Let me close this Excel sheet. Let's see how many Excels are open. Yeah, let me close this also. Okay, now I'm going to open a blank sheet. Okay, I've closed Excel itself. Okay, let me open one Excel. Now, if you come back to this presentation, let's finish this. So you can see import from Tally, register from sales. These are very simple. I'll just show you in 2 minutes. And then we also got demo of export import functions, which means you can export the data so that you can import again to Tally. Okay. Now let me come back again. Let's open Excel and come back again. Yes, I got this Excel. I'm going to pick up a new sheet. I'll close another 5 to 10 minutes next. Okay, I got this eDO TallySoft. Here I was talking about daybook. Okay, we showed you all these individual transactions you can import. Similarly, you also got what I showed you was sales registers. Now I got come here. I say sales vouchers. I can give everything. I can get details of summary. I say okay. Now I can extract all the sales vouchers, the details in a few seconds. Because we reopened Excel, it has to establish a connection with Tally. Similarly, I can also import the purchases. Now, if you look at the sales, now I have the sales. I can also get the inventory. I can also get it based on the vouchers, or I can also get as per the extract. These are the different things which are possible when you come to the sales transactions. Yes, it looks like we got the result. Now, if you see here, this gives me the complete list of all the sales vouchers. Okay, now let's say I want the purchases. Now, like this, I got for extract columnar. I can also get the sales as per the columnar. I want to show you the purchases. Let's say I go to purchases and I say I want purchase vouchers. Now, this should be much more faster. I say okay, because we have a limited number of purchases. Now, you see here, I got this purchases. Now, I want journal. I can go to journal. I say journal vouchers. Now, I say okay. I got the journal voucher. So this is how I can export the transactions. Okay, now let's come to the last part of the demo, which is demo of export to import. Now here, if you see, if you come to E2Tallysoft, you got this option of export to import. In this case, when I say export, it's a very simple function. What it does is it gives me the option. Okay, it gives me the option to export the masters or the vouchers in XML or XLS format. I'm just going to do one example. Let's say I want the masters in XLS. I can export that in XLS, or I can also store that in XLS, XML format. And let's say I want only accounting. I can say these are the masters I want. I say okay. Now I'll be able to export all this in XLS option. Okay, same thing I want in XML. I can also get the same thing in XML. Now, same thing, I want to export all the vouchers. I can also export the vouchers. Now, if I got this data, same thing, I can also import. One more option I have got here is I can also import that in XML format. Okay, this is about the demo of the software. So if you look at all the demo what we are given, now we know that we can automate import of masters or transactions from MS Excel to Tally, and thus avoid manual data entry and related errors. This is some and substance of the discussion we had. E2Tallysoft provides an automated solution. It's an add-in software to MS Excel for importing the master and transaction accounting, inventory, cost center, or bill wise from MS Excel to Tally in a few clicks. And you should remember that automation requires preparation. So first time you need to get the format and the structure right. Once you're done, then it's very, very easy. You can continue to import the data in a few seconds. Instead of manually entering the data for a few hours, you can do the complete import in a few seconds or few minutes. So what is that will happen? You can do more in less time using E2Tallysoft. You can also watch the demo of the E2Tallysoft functions, and you can also watch the webinar recordings. So thank you very much. I hope this presentation was useful to you and you got an idea of how to convert the vouchers and how you can use E2Tallysoft effectively. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you in the near future. Bye.